Now, to say the first part, don't forget, you must have torches. The other half,
There we go.
as I say, it's a little bit down on what
Okay, now.
So, it's quite a neat watering, but...
What did they do? Extend it? Is it coming in other parts of the town? And that, did they?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It goes all around.
All this was added to the
We do come back
airway shells, I think.
This is the air shower.
There's some people that are fairly familiar with Ramsgate. The road we're going down at the minute is Victoria Road. And even if you're a visitor, if you notice the Granville Theatre on the cliff tops, the Granville Theatre is up over there, and the old Granville Hotel, Granville Apartments, right up there. So we're walking under Victoria Road, then under a bit of Boundary Road. Right, okay?
It must be half a mile. It must be half a mile or something. What's up there then? Can't really see much up there. They look comfortable.
Right, so we've moved into the air raid tunnel system. This is the main tunnel. There's a semicircle around the town centre, and branch tunnels go off from this main tunnel. Okay, so far I think you've all been keeping the 1939 rules. No smoking, no spitting, no swearing. If you've got pets, you've had to leave them on the surface to take their chance. You can't bring them down into the tunnels during the raid. You're not allowed to bring prams or pushchairs down. Any prams you'd need to leave at the entrance. And remember, of course, to get the baby out of the pram before you do come down. Again, in the film, you saw pictures of the tunnels in use. So you need to imagine lots of people down here during the raid, mainly women, children and elderly people, sitting out a raid, maybe using bunks like this, or on benches, rather like the replica ones we have a little bit further on within the tunnel. Phil may have warned you earlier on that the hard hats are, of course, partly for the low ceilings, but also for these fittings as well. So these are 1939 fittings that carried the electricity cables, similar lighting to what we have now, but a bit dimmer, but also for the telephone system and the public address system. If you were to have a bunk, you needed to have a permit. And we've got a replica of a permit that you'll see later on when you go back to the railway tunnel. Pictures show many mothers and children using the bunks, and actually mothers would be concerned to get permits to bring their children down for safety overnight. You may have noticed these recesses on each side, and you'll see lots of those as we continue. Any ideas what they might be for? No? Well, you can stand out if you wish now. They're actually toilet recesses. So within each recess, there are two chemical toilets side by side with an asbestos screen between them and a Hessian curtain for your privacy to be drawn across. Hard luck if your bunk was near to one of the toilet recesses. It would have been smelly. But I said about the capacity of 35,000. There were 250 of these recesses, so 500 toilets. 500 toilets, 35,000 people. One toilet for 70 people. That's not very good for sharing, is it? But actually it wasn't quite like that, because we know that not everyone in the town could use the main tunnel system, and the population of the town dropped dramatically during the war. In 1940 it dropped to about 12,000 from 35,000, and even by the end of the war it had only gone up to about 17,000, about half the pre-war level. And within that, of course, you've got to remember 3,000 school children were evacuated from Ramsgate to Stafford, and the evacuation took place at the same time as the evacuation of troops from Dunkirk. So both Ramsgate school children and soldiers from Dunkirk have been evacuated from Ramsgate station at the same time. As we move forward, in the next two recesses, you'll see 1939 original chemical toilets. One looks a little bit more comfortable than the other. And again, a bit further on, replica benches. And I'll stop you briefly later on at a little mock-up of a first aid post that we have. Right, so we move further in.
At least know the toilet, isn't it?
Yeah.